That's right. Yes.
Good afternoon and welcome. It's so exciting to see all of you here, and I guess the mic is not up?
Correct.
Oh, I got my lights on. That helps. There's so many buttons up here. I don't know which one to hit.
You're not live.
Oh, holy smokes. Woo.
Now John Davis can hear me.
Okay. Oh. Poor John. So, anyways, oh my gosh, it's so exciting to see everybody here today. Isn't this a great venue? Are you happy? Stu, I've got to ask you. Stu Buchanan, are you happy?
I'm very happy. All right.
Thanks, Stu. I'm excited. That's great. Oh my gosh, it feels so good. It's somewhere between crying and laughing. So it's fabulous to be here to see faces that we haven't seen for a while. So again, welcome. And we are just so blessed to have a good meal and lots of smiling faces. So it feels good, doesn't it? Yes. Well, again, welcome to the Rotary Club of Akron. We are part of a great team, over 1.4 million, and I think we can honestly say passionate individuals in over 46,000 clubs around our beautiful world. We are both an international organization and a local community leader. And together, all of us that are gathered lead change in our own backyards and across the world. I'm Linda Farkas, and I'm happy to be the 2022-23 president of our club. And again, thank you for being here today, and for those that are online. At this time, if you're able to please stand, and we'll begin by saying the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the four-way test and our invocation today. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And our four-way test is the truth. Is fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you so much. Karen's going to do our invocation this morning.
Fellow Rotarians, today as we have the privilege to learn more about Alpha Phi Alpha homes, and as we think about all the people in Florida who are suddenly homeless, I thought it proper to share a poem that allows us to think about what it means to lose a home, whether it's through tragedy, financial challenges, or hopelessness of a dream of a home that eludes a person. I share this poem so that we can enter our conversations today with a heart of empathy for those who have housing challenges and gratitude if we do not. The poem is called On Losing a Home by Mary Oliver. The bumblebees know where their home is. They have memorized every stalk and leaf of the field. They fall from the air at exactly the right place. They crawl under the soft grasses. They enter the darkness humming. Where will we go with our table and chairs, our bed, our 9,000 books, our TV, PC, VCR, our cat who is 16 years old? Where will we put down our dishes and our blue carpets? Where will we put up our rose-colored rice paper shades? We never saw such a beautiful home, though it dipped towards the sea, though it shook and creaked. that said to the rain, "Come in," and had a ghost. At night she rattled the teacups with her narrow hands, then left the cupboard open. And once she slipped, or maybe it wasn't a slip, and called to our cat, who ran to the empty room. We only smiled, unwise, unwise. Oh, what is money? Oh, never in our lives have we thought about money. Oh, we have only a little money. Oh, now in our sleep we dream of finding money. But someone else around has money. Someone else can sign the papers, can turn the key. Oh, dark, oh, heavy, oh, mossy money. Amazing how the rich don't even hesitate. Up go the sloping roof lines, out goes the garden, down goes the crooked green tree, out goes the old sink and the little windows, and there you have it, a house like any other. And there goes the ghost, and then another. They glide over the water, away, waving and waving their fog-colored hands. Don't tell us how to love. Don't tell us how to grieve, or what to grieve for, or how loss shouldn't sit down like a gray bundle of dust in the deepest pockets of our energy. Don't laugh at our belief that money isn't everything. Don't tell us how to behave in anger, in longing and loss, in homesickness. Don't tell us, dear friends. Goodbye, house. Goodbye, sweet and beautiful house, we shouted. And it shouted back, goodbye to you, and lifted itself down the town and set off like a packet of clouds across the harbor's sandy ring, the tossing bell, the untowned point, and turned lightly, wordlessly, into the keep of the wind, where it floats still, where it plunges and rises still on the black and dreamy sea. Thank you.
You may be seated. Thanks so much, Karen. Connor? Hello, hello, Connor. hello.
We have a very esteemed guest with us today, Mr. Chip Billow here, guest of Thames. Actually, you're not a guest, you're not the guest of this. Yeah, I don't know what, well, it is another vegetarian. That's my fault. I was going to say, with a mistake there, I'm messing up left and right here. Apologies. You're not, but a special. Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, good to meet you. So, and then our speaker, Jerry, who are you? You want to introduce our speaker? I know he'll be coming up in a moment.
Dr. Albert Bragg, our speaker.
Welcome.
Anyone else? Yeah, anyone else today? So that's it, Linda.
All right.
Back to you.
Great. Thank you, Connor, so much. Did we have any Rotary ambassadors out and about that like to share where they've been? Okay. Happy Dollars. I'm so excited. I'm going to kick off Happy Dollars with, I'd like to wish it was more, but I'm going to start off with $10. So if somebody would like to, David Hogg, thank you, dear. $10 for being here, and you are all here. So please come again and bring a friend. David.
I have two happy dollars. First happy dollar is October 19th is the Akron Food Bank Project again. That's Wednesday. It's 4:30 from 6:30. It goes by very quickly. It's well run. It's a lot of fun. Everybody gets together. We repackage large bulk food down to small packages to be distributed to food pantries. So if you can make it, I'll be sending out an email here shortly to sign up. And afterwards, we're going to go out to dinner somewhere or drinks. So, second happy dollar is just for my daughter down in Florida, down there in St. Augustine, survived the hurricane, no problems. Down in St. Augustine, got quite a bit of water, but it actually looked pretty good afterwards. So, everyone else is happy. Hey.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. So I have 5 happy dollars. First happy dollar on your table. Some of you have seen this online as well. We're having an open house and a celebration at the Villa Fairlawn Chapel next Thursday. Open bar, appetizers, we have a DJ, and Father Dean Kanos, who is the newly installed head rector here at Annunciation Greek Orthodox. He's going to be doing a blessing of our business and our building and our staff. So everybody's welcome next week, 4 to 7. shoot me a text, email me if you want to go, or just feel free to come and bring us. So that's my first happy dollar. And I have 4 more happy dollars. They're actually all for Mr. John Daly. So what's cool about John, some of you know this, some of you don't. He and my grandpa Chuck were born on the exact same day. They had perfect attendance for 51 years in a row. And then my grandpa fell off and John Daly kept going on. And why do I have 4 happy dollars? Because John Daly had 4 causes in his life he cared about. One of them was his wife, T. Ardell Daly. Number 2 was U.S. Masters Swimming. Number 3 was the Summit County Metro Parks. And number 4 was Rotary Club of Akron. John, welcome to see it. God bless you.
I have $1 because that's all I have in my wallet after a $20 lunch. And that's for Dr. Bragg, who is my Leadership Akron classmate, the Divine 39. And I'm sure he will wow us today, as I expect, because we have the best class ever. Thank you.
It's appropriate that I come after this, so I have $5 happy. It is great to be in a room where in Rotary tradition, we're sitting around and I learn things about people at my table that I had never known before. So that's part of what Rotary is all about. And I also, so Chip, you're going to be responsible for a number of happy dollars today. Chip and I, by the way, were in the best Leadership Akron class. It was class 10, right, Chip? Class X, that was our class symbol. So, good to see you here, Chip.
That's 29 years ago.
I have 5 happy dollars because it's nice to be in the atmosphere of a Rotary meeting.
Jack, here, thank you.
I have 5 happy dollars. First of all, my daughter also in Florida, down in Daytona Beach. Weather the hurricane. She has a first floor apartment, so she was locked in for 2 or 3 days. Water got up to her sidewalk, but she was okay. But even though Southwest Florida was decimated, Volusia County, where Daytona is, they've had 5 or 6 deaths there too. So just really super grateful that she's okay. I was a complete total basket case that day. Also, last week, a couple Rotarians, Haseen and his wife, Doug and his wife, Steve and his wife, and me and my husband attended the Kiwanis, first inaugural Kiwanis benefit for children. And that was a fantastic event. We had a fantastic time recognizing the LeBron James Family Foundation and Dr. David James and a young lady from Talmadge who raises money for wheelchairs for a wheelchair basketball team. So it's really inspiring.
So, Nathaniel repeat what he was saying about John, only over here. Because John didn't catch all of it, and I thought it was so nice.
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
Okay.
Get into it.
I'm going to your thing, right?
Yes, Mr. Daly, can you hear me?
What's that?
Can you hear me, sir?
I remember, didn't I?
Yeah, I remember you too.
You're gonna have to,
So,
you're gonna have to get closer.
I had 4 happy dollars. And those 4, if you remember this, you told me you had 4 causes in your life.
Have what?
You had 4 causes in your life you devoted your life to. It was your wife, U.S. Masters Swimming, the Metro Parks, and the Akron Rotary Club.
Those all sound familiar, but what about them?
Yeah, that was good.
Well, there were 4 things that were important to you. 4 things that were important to you.
So I have 3 happy dollars. So number 1, Linda, congratulations on getting us all here together. It's a wonderful space. Love it. 2, the regatta. Thank you all, to those of you who came to the regatta, who supported the regatta, who donated to the regatta. What an amazing night it was for Rotary Camp. Tally now is upwards of $700 and almost $90,000 for our waterfront. All for making enhancements of capital dollars to improve the waterfront for that experience for our campers. So thank you all so much. It's going to be such a great place. In the next 2 years, our campers are going to get to enjoy so much more and create so many more abilities. The next is, everybody has a flyer on their table. There's a spaghetti dinner from Messiah Lutheran Church. in memory of Dick Farkas. They've been doing this annually since Dick passed away. So we're honored that they choose Akron Rotary Camp to be the benefactor of that. And they apologize, but they did have to put it as everything else. So hope you guys will come and hope you'll be there and support.
David Miller, yeah.
All right, I have $3 happy, then I'm gonna pull a Connor and talk about 5 things. I don't know if I actually had 4, but I ripped one of my dollars in half, and I don't know if I can turn that in. So first, no particular order, Mel, you brought up the regatta. It was a phenomenal event, so thank you, Billows, for allowing us to be your guest at that event. It was amazing. Second one is, Chip, it's always good to see you. Thank you for joining our club today. For those that don't know, I've actually known Chip longer than I know Thane. Chip and I are fraternity brothers. I met him in the fall of 1998. So I've known Mr. Billow for a very, very, very long time. I am getting older too, yeah. So the third one is, David, sorry about the passing of your father. So now I have but I'm going to just let us know when it's. The fourth one is, I did send out an invite. I know that many of you are aware that I sit on the Stoner Falls Community Foundation board, and we do have our 10th annual Craft Beer Fest coming up this weekend. There wasn't a lot of opportunity for those that could volunteer, which I completely understand. It was just an ask. But if something freed up and you want to attend the event, we still have tickets available at smfcommunity.org. We expect to have probably our best event yet. 12 different breweries. We have a VIP hour from 1 to 2, and then events from 2 to 5. It's going to be a cooler day, but the weather's going to be beautiful. Outdoor event on Saturday. And then the third thing, just we were talking about U.S. Master Swimming. I jokingly told Doug. For those of you that know, my kids are competitive swimmers. They have been since I think we're going into like season 6 or 7 with them swimming. I'm now a level 1 certified swim official, so I decided that I was going to follow in Doug Cole's steps, and you can DQ anybody, you might as well DQ your kids, your grandkids, right, Doug? So I do have some events coming up, but I was excited. I took a class, took a training, and I'm now a certified official. So thank you.
Yeah, I have one happy dollar, and it's for the fine work that Jerry Keeper has been doing in setting up programs and following in Katie Miller's steps, and so the baton was passed rather seamlessly. And so thank you, Jerry, for the fine work you did.
I've got $5 happy. I don't really have a whole lot of change. Won't mention anything about the best leadership actor class. Happy dollars is for the great venue we have here today, and also the upgrade in food. So love that, and then also for looking forward to presentations from my friend Dr. Al Bragg. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
I have 2 happy dollars. One is for everyone who worked so hard to figure out where we were going to be. I do appreciate this format. Thank you very much. The second happy dollar is for my friend Jack, who takes such good care of John.
Well, I'm going to mirror everything that everybody else said too, but I think it's really wonderful we're here. Thank you for all of you for being here. Without you, we couldn't be doing this. And Linda, thank you. It's wonderful that we're here. Thanks for taking the initiative to push us to find a place. But Mr. Billow, it's always good to see you. But you know what? It's really wonderful to see David. Nobody ever says we're great. We're so happy to see you.
Thank you. Can't take it for granted. Everybody loves seeing my dad. Nobody likes seeing me.
I'm just happy to be here. Last call. Jenny.
Oh, Jenny,
Well,
the birthday girl, she had a fabulous birthday last Friday.
Well, I want to thank you all for singing happy birthday. And I didn't do anything last week because who knows, I'm not a girl dead before. And Jerry said, make it short. I'm 93. I'm giving Rotary $93.
Oh.
call anybody.
Jenny, thank you so much. You're a gift to all of us, so thank you. Thank you. And your daughter. We're glad that you're here from Virginia. Okay, wow, that was rather an emotional time. Whew. David did a great update on our food bank, which is the 19th, 4:30 to 6:30. David Miller is going to work on after hours
Yeah, I'll
for
send
us.
an email out inviting those to show up.
Good job. And then Katie, the change for change, real quick.
So we got, 2 Tuesdays ago, it's also reflected in, we did change at the city's tavern, but the proceeds benefiting Rotary Club of Akron. Number one, I'm a horrible bartender, but I'm a really good bar back. And Karen is one of the best bartenders I've ever seen. She just hustled the whole time. So we brought in around 600, but there's still some money coming in. And somebody has indicated they may match that. So I'll have a firmer total hopefully in the week.
Thanks, Katie. And another quick thank you to Jerry Kiefer for our off-site wonderful gallery tour at the Emily Davis Gallery at Akron U last Tuesday. No, was it Tuesday? Yeah, it was Tuesday. But it was fabulous, and we had a nice box lunch, and we were all together. Okay, Miss Mella, do you want to join me up here, my dear? Mella did give you an update on the regatta. It was fabulous. It was a lot of fun. The food was excellent, and the weather couldn't have been better, and the fireworks were spectacular on the lake. Thane, would you join us also? On your table, you will see an email from Thane to all of us about a donation, and Thane is going to do a presentation now, and Dad is here with us. So it's all yours.
All right, can everybody hear me okay? Okay, good. So if you're a billow, it means you're probably a good funeral director and you're a good Rotarian. So the two go hand in hand. And if you know my family, you know relationships matter to us, friendships matter, and so does serving the community. So we have a really cool relationship with a partner called Matthews Aurora, and they're our main supplier, and it's a relationship that my dad forged when he was my age. We've been with them for over 40 years. Matthews has a charity called the Matthews Children's Foundation, and I am pleased to announce that going forward, the Matthews Children's Foundation will be making a $3,000 donation per year in perpetuity to the Akron Rotary Camp for Children with Special Needs in honor of the Billow family and our company. So. When it comes to like impactful giving, and I know I've talked to Karen Herdlicka about this before, you can donate many dollars over many years, and we're a small family-owned business, but I am hopeful that $3,000 per year will be put to good use with the camp, and I believe our goal this year for the regatta was $800,000, and we were about $10,000 short, so I'm happy to donate today our first donation check from the Children's Foundation for $1,000. We have 2 more coming this year. So Mella, I'm going to present this to you. Thank you so much.
Cheryl's going to take a. Wow, how exciting. Thank you, Billow's family. So thank you. What a gift. Also on your table, isn't it wonderful to have round tables so we can put all this information on the round tables for you. Don't forget, we have Boo on the Boulevard, and Steve Bowie was through the matching Rotary grant from last year. Is implemented this year, and Sandy Aragon has sent you an invitation, and that invitation is in an email and also on your table. So Steve, you've got 1 minute. Do you want to say anything about Boo on the Boulevard?
Just very little. It's an ongoing project that the Kenmore Community Development Corporation has been doing with the kids. And we've not been to Kenmore, and some of you were when we had a meeting over there. There's such fine work that Tina Boyes is doing, and Tina is a Rotarian. And so any way that we can continue our wonderful support of the fine work that she's doing there, I'm sure it's going to be greatly welcome. So thank you.
Thank you. So don't forget to sign up. And we also have Boo at the Zoo, which is another community effort that we're supporting October 15th, 16th, and the 22nd, 29th, 23rd, and 30th. They're 3-hour shifts, and I know Jerry has done it, I've done it, and we're going to try to coax Nella maybe to help us out. Anyways, Boo at the Zoo is fun, and they give you the costume, and all you have to do is smile and hand out candy to kids. It doesn't get any better. And I want to personally thank the staff here at the church. They have been fabulous. Angelina George and Lauren Nemeth were instrumental in setting our lunch up today, and hopefully you've enjoyed the food. Jack Herrick, thank you, bless you, for the email that you sent out to everybody to encourage our Rotarians to bring a friend. That was great. And I would just like to ask the driving steering committee to please stand up. I want you to recognize these wonderful people. Cheryl was instrumental in doing the background work, so Cheryl, please stand. Tom Knauer, Brian, please stand. Mella, Thane, Doug, Colt, Mike, and Terry. So please thank these people. They were the steering committee. So, thank you so much. We are blessed to have this wonderful opportunity to be here. And don't forget to come next week. It's important. Okay, Jerry, you're up, my dear.
I have to do this after saying. Albert A. Bragg, Jr., PhD, is a lifelong resident of Akron, Ohio, and a graduate of John R. Buchtel High School. He received his Bachelor of Science and Master of Public Administration degrees from the University of Akron, and his PhD in Urban Studies, Public Affairs from Cleveland State. Al's doctoral studies focused on sustainability and public policy. Al was a United States Army Transportation Officer and served the citizens of Akron as the Fire Prevention Bureau Manager. Currently, Al is the Executive Director of Alpha Homes Incorporated. His hobbies are golf and traveling to play golf. Al?
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, that was a little weak. Good afternoon, everyone. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. Well, first of all, I learned something today, and that is that there are 2 Annunciation churches in Akron. And of course, I went to the other one, because that's the one I knew. But luckily, I was a Boy Scout, and I went early, so I was able to recover. To be honest, Alpha Homes had a groundbreaking 2 weeks ago for 89 homes that we will be building here in the city of Akron, which is the largest development in decades. And I really would like to talk to you about that, but I'm not going to. Because while sitting there, I heard some things that made me think that I would be remiss if I didn't share something with you that could save your lives. But first, let me ask a question. How many of you, by a show of hands, would like to learn something that could save your life today? Let's see your hands. Okay, well, I'm in the right place and at the right time. And I don't know if you saw the title of what I was going to talk about today, the 10 PM to 6 AM conundrum. Did anyone see that? Yes, no, maybe? Okay, a couple of you did. And I'm sure you tried to figure out, well, what in the heck could that be? I'm going to share with you what that is. But I'm going to start by sharing information with you that really is not very good. And it touches us at Alpha Homes, and it could touch any of you. So let's talk about it. How many of you know that the United States is the worst country in the industrialized world when it comes to people being injured and killed in fires? We are. We're at the top of a list that you don't want to be on. We have all of the money, we have all of the technology, but we have all of the fires and people being injured and killed, and that makes no sense. Since I've been at Alpha Homes, we've had 2 devastating fires. And I need to do something about that. But first, I'm going to do something about it for you. And I believe the reason we don't keep ourselves safe is because we really, truly don't know what fire even looks like. Oh, I know you think you know because you've seen it your entire life on TV and in the movies, right? Have you seen a fire? What you saw was completely phony. You see, if you saw a real fire on TV or in the movies, what you would see, well, matter of fact, I'll show you. Close your eyes right now. Everyone, trust me. Close your eyes. Now put your hands in front of your face with your eyes closed. Can you see your hands? That's what you would see in a real fire. See, they have to fake it to hold your curiosity because you would be looking at a black screen and that wouldn't work. So they show the star with a hanky in front of their mouth and they're as they run in and out rescuing everyone. We've all seen that, right? In reality, if you go back into a fire once you've escaped, you will die. In a matter of 90 seconds, the temperature at head height is over 1,500 degrees. Just so you know, your lungs literally vaporize at temperatures above 150 degrees. So obviously that would be unsurvivable. But see, we don't, as Americans, know what really causes fires. Now I know I have a little bit of time and I have a lot of information, so I love Star Trek. So I'm gonna go at warp speed. Is that okay? See, if we knew what caused fires, I think we would then be armed with information we could use to prevent those fires from happening. I'm working on a project at Alpha Homes right now to do exactly this. So I'm going to start with you. First of all, the number 1 cause of fires in the United States. Does anyone know what it would be?
Electrical?
Smoking?
Nope. Time out, time out. I knew you would say that. It's cooking. Cooking is the number 1 cause of fire in this country, and it injures more Americans than any other type fire. It doesn't kill more, it injures more. And I would be willing to bet that you are in violation of a rule that I'm going to tell you right now. That is, if you're in church, so you have to be honest. I want you guys to put your right hand outside your shoulder like this. Take your left hand and mirror that. Look around the room. What you see is 3 feet. Remember the 3-foot rule. Anything that can burn should be at least 3 feet from anything that might cause it to burn. Be honest. How many of you have something within 3 feet of your stove right now? You're in violation of that rule. Oh, I know you think nothing will happen, but when I was the public information officer for the City of Akron Fire Department, people would be crying in the street because they thought nothing would happen either. But see, it does. Just doesn't happen to everybody, but when it does, it's devastating. The number 2 cause of fire, any ideas? Electrical. No.
Barbecue.
No. Heating equipment. Space heaters, kerosene, any type of, and we're going into the season right now where, matter of fact, my administrative assistant has one on right now. But she's there. And I made sure she had a special type that if it tips over, it will shut off. Pretty much all of them do that now. Space heaters need space. How much space do they need? Remember that 3-foot rule. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you right now so I won't forget. When you go home today, I want you to do this and go around your house to make sure you're not in violation of the 3-foot rule. Now I'm gonna rattle off the next 3. Number 3 is electrical. Overloaded electrical outlets. If an outlet has 2 openings, guess how many things you're supposed to plug in? 2. But you get all types of devices and plug 7 or 8 things, don't you? Matter of fact, we're about to go into the holiday season, and they sell a special extension cord just during the holidays. What color is it? So you can hide it in the Christmas tree, but you should never have an extension cord in your Christmas tree as one of the biggest sources of fire every holiday. Overloaded electrical outlets. Number 3, you would never guess this one. Or would you? Number 4, excuse me. I already gave you 3. Yeah, number 4. Kids. Ooh, that's pretty good. No one's ever guessed that. It's actually arson. Arson. Number 4 causes fire, but it's the one crime where more kids are arrested and convicted than adults. The average age of an arsonist is 10.7. But the fires that they start are your fault. Because I would be willing to bet if I asked your kids or your grandkids where you keep your gun at your house, they won't know. But ask them where you keep your matches or lighter, and they'll go right to it. In the hands of a child, a loaded or a lighter is far more dangerous than a loaded 9mm pistol. Think about it. Have you ever heard of a 5-year-old taking a pistol and boom, 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 killing 5 people? But you read about them playing with matches and lighters, killing everyone in the home or the building. And the last is other equipment. And that includes things like, what do you call those blankets that people put on? Yeah, curling irons, electric blankets, all of those types of things. Now, those are the leading causes. Absent among them was the one you thought would be number 1, and that was smoking. Smoking is in the top 10. It's normally 8 to 10, but it does kill more Americans than any other type of fire. And I'm going to tell you why. Because, see, I'm going to say 2 things. The first, I believe you've heard. The second, probably not. By a show of hands, how many of you have ever heard you should never smoke in bed? Let's see your hands. Okay, hands down. I knew all the hands would go up. Be honest, how many of you have ever heard that you should never smoke in a chair? What's the year? What did the late Paul Harvey used to say? Now for the what? Rest of the story. The reality is you should never smoke wherever you're comfortable, because if you're comfortable, you might what? Have you ever fallen asleep in a chair? He's asleep back there now. No, I'm just. So you shouldn't smoke wherever you're comfortable. Now, that's all the bad stuff. Here's the good stuff. There is hope. We're in church. There is hope. But you don't know what you think you know. I know you guys have one of these devices in your house, don't you? Yes, no, or maybe? Yes. See, I've been hearing sirens for about 26, 7 years. Yes, no, or maybe? Yes. Who has good eyes or good glasses and can read something for me? Right here? Okay, now, you're going to have to speak up. There's a silver disc here. And could you read what it says loudly for everybody to hear?
Caution, radioactive material.
How many of you knew your smoke alarms are radioactive? That thing will kill you. That's why I gave it to her. Not enough to kill you, but the reason I share that with you, all smoke alarms, because of that radioactive element, have to be replaced every 10 years. Have you replaced your smoke alarm?
Yes.
When?
Last year.
Last year? Good. Now, some people say, well, I replaced it about 7 years ago, so I have 3 more years. Not necessarily true. Because it's not based on when you bought it, it's based on when it was manufactured. It could sit on the shelf for 5 years in some warehouse. Do you know when they were manufactured? Be honest. Shame the devil. No.
I'd replace it because it's beeping.
And that means the battery is low. Now, you know, a lot of people know when it starts beeping, they replace the battery, right? You do know how to properly test your smoke alarm. I'm sure you know that. How do you test it? Press the button. No, I knew you would say that. The proper way to test a smoke alarm is with smoke detector testing smoke, and it comes in a can. We're getting these now at Alpha Homes. Because if you don't pass smoke through it, how do you know it's going to detect smoke? When you press the button, you're only testing the battery or the power source. So you didn't know what you thought you knew. That's why we die at a higher rate than anyone. Number one, have a smoke alarm on every level of your home, including the basement and outside of each separate sleeping area. And outside of each separate sleeping area. Number two, no 2 ways out. Did you hear what I just said?
No, 2 ways.
I want everybody to say 2 ways out. 2 ways out. Be honest with me. I'm sure a lot of you do grocery shopping. How many of you know a second way out of that grocery store that you normally shop without even thinking about it? I don't hardly see any hands. See, we don't take our safety seriously. If a fire were to break out there, and it has, people have died in grocery stores in large numbers, you'd be in trouble. Because see, I know which way you're going to go out. The way you came in. And there'll be a big group of people wedged in the door, and you're not going to make it. It happens all the time. When I came in here, I was looking for that second way out. Because you guys were going that way. I was going that way. I would have told you to come on once I got close. No 2 ways out. Number 3, have a safe meeting place. Now, most people die in their homes between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. Between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. That's the 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. conundrum. Why is it a conundrum? That's when we're very comfortable. Feel safe. We're locked in. But that's when fires start. And I'm going to share this with you, and then I'm going to be done. I'll open it up for questions. But there's one thing you're going to have to do. If you don't do this, everything I've said has really not been worth it. But let's ask a question first. How many of you at least one time in the last month slept with your bedroom door open or cracked just a little bit? Be honest. Let's see your hands. That's more than 50% of you. Well, let me share this with you. You could have smoke alarms, carbon monoxide alarms. If you sleep with your bedroom door cracked and you have a fire in your house, you're probably not going to make it. Let me tell you why. It's not like on TV. People who die in fires aren't burned to death. Rarely does that happen. Do you know what kills them? Smoke. No, it's not the smoke. It's the deadly gas carbon monoxide, which is colorless, odorless, tasteless. This room could be full of it right now. The only way we would know, I would know, is because we would all start getting headaches, nauseated. If you're Caucasian, you'd have cherry, bright skin. Symptoms like we had the flu. The only unusual thing would be we'd all have it at the same time. So I'd say, hey, let's get out of here. Carbon monoxide doesn't allow the oxygen to bind with the hemoglobin. I have a video I often play. The gentleman says, I could hear my smoke alarm going off, but I couldn't move. I was paralyzed. So you're breathing in the carbon monoxide long before your smoke alarms go off. Now you're paralyzed, smoke alarms go off, you can't move. Sleep with your bedroom door closed. That provides you with a barrier between you and the deadly smoke, carbon monoxide, other deadly gases that will give you an opportunity to survive. One of the things I'm doing in Alpha Homes, I'm putting up signage with various safety messages so people understand. We just put up a sign that says, keep looking at your cooking. In elevators and in There's a device, I just came from a conference, that will automatically turn off your stove if the smoke alarm beeps. That would be something good for you to have as well. So, maybe you thought you were going to hear about housing. And you did, in a way. And I passed out a flyer that talks about our new development that we're very excited about. We broke ground. We have 3 types of housing. We have townhouses, 42 townhouses. We have 23 what we call parkside residences. We're creating a park, and the homes will be around the park. You see it there in front of you. And then we have 24 custom lots, and 9 of those lots will be along Good Park Golf Course. So if there's any golfers here, if you know any, send them our way. Did you learn something today? Yes. Are you going to do something different? Yes. I have a story to tell you, then I'll be done. There was a guy who took off work early one day to go play golf with his buddies. He gets to the golf course and he sees they've already teed off on the first hole. And they yell for him to come on down. We've already paid for you. Let's get going. So he runs down there and he tees up his ball and he gets ready to swing. But he didn't notice something. He had teed his ball up right next to a big ant hill that was full of ants. He said, boy, I'm going to really kill this one. So he takes a mighty swing. Totally misses the ball. Whiffs it. But he does kill half of the ants. He said, wait a minute, I never whipped the ball. I'm going to really kill this next one. This time he takes an even mightier swing. Totally misses the ball again. This time he kills all the rest of the ants. That is, except for 2. He said, wait a minute, I didn't do my normal stretching. Let me get it. Oh, okay, now, grip, posture, deep breath. This time, just before he swings the club, the remaining 2 ants looked at one another and they said, hey, we better get on the ball. Anything I'm telling you, you better get on the ball so you don't get wiped away like those ants. Thank you. If there's questions, yes, sir.
The Good Park, residents of Good Park.
Yes.
Is that using any part of the golf course or is the golf course?
No, not using any part of the golf course. However, the lot line does extend into the course, but we're not going to build anything there. But the lot line is on the other side of the fence. I'll put it that way. They have a fence there currently. So, yes, sir.
Thank you. That's great.
Thank you.
The housing development where Sun and Brook School used to be.
Yes.
Do you have an estimate of construction beginning or the completion of some of the units?
Well, we have to cross a few T's, dot a few I's, but I'm hoping at the beginning of the year we'll start construction. Yes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Do you have any other experience with doing these kinds of development as the Good Park?
We have done several developments. This is not our first market rate development. The others have been condominiums, though, and the condos at Canal, or the landings, excuse me, at Canal Park is an example. So yes, we have done this before, and they've been very successful as well. Yes, sir.
So do you have any practical advice on fire extinguishers? How many we should have at home, website?
Absolutely do. A fire extinguisher is great. Matter of fact, when the Twin Towers were hit, there's a group that got out only because a person thought to take a portable fire extinguisher with them. But here's what you do. When you buy one, never buy one with a plastic handle. They sell those at Lowe's and places like that. Don't buy it. It's a waste of money. Because every 6 years, an extinguisher has to, you have to change the chemical in the extinguisher. The plastic handle ones, you can't do that, so it's a throwaway. And it may cost the same as one with a metal trigger. So why would you do that? So never buy that. Buy one, there's a rating that's minimum 3-A 40-B:C. So it's 3A 40B:C. The A tells you it's for solids, the B tells you it's for liquids and flammable gases, and the C tells you that it's non-conductive or safe to use on electrical equipment, which of course is the third leading cause of fire. So ABC rated, minimum 3A, 40B, C is what you want. Yes, sir.
How many carbon monoxide detectors do you recommend having?
Well, I can tell you how many I have. I have one in each bedroom and one on every level of the home. That's what I recommend. Carbon monoxide alarms aren't required in the city of Akron. They are in some cities. They may be more valuable than a smoke alarm. I chose the smoke alarm to talk to you about because it's required. Yes, sir.
Share two quick things. How many of you remember George Perry? George used to visit us at the Portage Lakes Rotary, and about once a year he would say, "Jack, I want to go by your house." And he would come by, and George drove Ford Crown Victorias. And he'd walk through the house and the boat and everything. He'd pick up an extinguisher and say, "This was trash." And he pointed out the dates on them. You need to know the dates.
Absolutely.
And if they had plastic, they were history. The other story I would like to share is one about Alpha. My wife was a social worker, and most of you know Vivian. And she would have programs for the young unmarried girls and invite the unmarried fathers. And the Alphas would always show up as mentors. We're riding home one night, Vivian says, "How come you white guys can't do what the Alphas do?" So congratulations for all you do for you.
Well, thank you. I knew George Perry. I used to talk to him all the time. And you're right. Every year you have to have your extinguisher inspected. Every 12 years it has to be hydrostatically tested to make sure that cylinder is still safe. So there's 3 services actually they have to do in addition to the one I told you where the chemical is changed every 6 years. Yeah. Any other questions?
I just want to make a comment
Yes.
that the groundbreaking was a great event, and
Good to see you again.
A good group of people there supporting it.
We have a long list of people interested. We're getting calls all the time. There's a lot of excitement. So I just can't wait to get started.
We have a little thank you card and a Rotary pin in there, celebrating imagination, which you indeed have.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
You did a wonderful job. Wow, thank you. What enthusiasm. I bet you, did you ever teach classes at the university?
Yes.
Oh, I bet you were a fabulous professor. So let us know when you're back in the classroom, because I think you would have many students that would like to join your class. So thank you for being here. It was a real pleasure to have you. Again, on your table, lots of information. There's also the flyers from the museum last week with their current events. So there's enough for each person there from the Myers Gallery, and it has all the events that are going to be presented there at the university. Also, I thought this was fabulous. If you didn't make the regatta, you need to take a look at the program. I told Mela the other night, I was so impressed with the statistics from the camp. And you need to take a look at this, because this is what our camp does for our kids. And it's incredible. So Mela, thank you so much. It's well worth the investment, so thank you, dear. Excellent. So again, take a look at the hours, volunteer hours, how many, I thought this was cute, how many times they went swimming, how many campfires, and zip line, and how many meals. Over 10,000 meals were served, and 40 seasonal staff from 5 different foreign countries. So we are definitely an international camp. So take a look at this, it's phenomenal. And Dave, do you want, Todd or Dave, who wants to do the happy dollar, the raffle?
The raffle, yeah.
Please.
All right.
Thanks, Hugh.
So, yes, all right. Our phenomenal speaker, would you give us the honor of pulling our winning ticket for the day and for the winner, the progressive pot. I know you're watching. Progressive pot's up to, according to Michael, 250-ish. There's only 14 cards left, including the Joker for the winner today. So, any ticket, that's right. A lot of pressure on this. Make a lot of people happy or well, unhappy.
The ticket is 2-2. I'm still in the game.
Oh, yeah.
8-6. 3-8-5. 8-5. 86-85.
8685.
Good job, class 39.
Congratulations. That was great.
I believe it. You're not.
Just a little side note, Tom Canauer won the raffle last week, and bless his heart, he donated all the money back to the club. So, thanks, Tom. No pressure.
All right. The 10 of clubs. All right. Don't worry, the Joker was in there. Just to prove Joker wasn't in there.
You get your own sell tickets next.
Yeah, come on, see if you want back. All right.
Raffle.
I think that's it.
We're good? Okay. Again, look at the center of your table. Don't forget to come back next week and bring a friend. Thank you, thank you.
Getting ready to end the meeting.